If you're planning to scale your ad account, then this video is for you. First, we have worked with multiple companies who are stuck at certain revenue and are not able to grow, and then we help them break the ceiling and actually scale and grow profitably. Prerequisites of scaling: at least 3 winner creatives you should be there per product or category you are looking to scale. Not all products are scalable, so you'll have to identify which products are scalable first, and then ad running for over 30 days while meeting targets consistently is what we can generally call a winner creative. This is not always true, but yes, on 90% of the cases, this is what we call a winner creative. The product is the bestseller, so don't scale a product which is not a bestseller, even if the sales are high right now. Because if it's not a bestseller, you're just getting the product in the more hands of more customers who are more likely to not purchase again because they had a bad experience with the product they have purchased. Hence, always go with the bestseller product, because that is the first impression with the brand, with the customer, of the customer with the brand, and you want to have the best impression possible. Then you'll have to go with the product which is proven to sell at full price and not discounts. That is when you scale. If you want to scale via discount, anybody can do that. But you'll have to sell a product at full price to be called a scalable product. Enable your creative team for increased throughput, because as you start scaling, the creative requirement analysis optimization will increase by a lot, and it will put a strain on your creative team. So be prepared mentally. Ask them to prepare mentally that there will be a strain for some time before things level down and the process is more streamlined. Then inability to be patient is the major cause of why brands fail to scale. The reason is they want the scale within 2 weeks, 3 weeks. That does not happen. It takes several months before you start actually gaining momentum to scale, and the patient is a virtue you should be having, no matter at what stage of revenue you are or no matter what stage of growth you are. Patience is required because nothing happens in a silos. You are working in a real world environment, and hence real world possibilities and real world probabilities do take into play. Number 4, let's start talking about scaling. First, what is the first thing that needs to be done is start diversification of your audience, finding about your brand. This is related to the diversification of traffic. Instead of, if you're just focusing on just ads or just one particular affiliate or influencer, then start diversifying into other mediums. You need not diversify entirely, but allocate 5%, 10% of your budget as an experiment budget and start testing which category or which medium of channel to acquire customers works. This need not be always about acquiring customers. This can also be about getting traffic to your website, so that it just creates a sense of awareness which can be retargeted then later via ads. So diversification of the audience is important here, but do not diversify too much. Allocate about 5 to 10% of your budget. This, what happens is, this breaks the stages of the customer journey which has been till now active, which is just see ads, come to website, get remarketed and buy. So that is broken, and you have a new influx of customers from where customers can know about your product, and hence this creates a different loop and it can broaden the scope of your ads, and hence you reach out to new customers. Number 2, you've got some value prop or messaging that is working for your products. Now iterate on them and communicate the same in 10 different ways. For example, if you are at a 15 lakh or 40 lakh ceiling, you are aware of some winner creatives in your products. Not for all products, but at least some products you are aware that these are the winner creatives, and these are, whenever I say about these things, these value props or these benefits, people tend to convert higher and better. That way, start iterating on them. For example, you can say about being natural in 2 different ways. It can be about chemical free care or naturally effective. Chemical free care can be say goodbye to harsh chemicals. Naturally effective can be effective skincare powered by natural ingredients. Both the value prop is still the same, which is being natural and natural skincare and everything. But how you communicate differs so much that you attract a different kind of audience when you speak about chemical free, and you attract a different kind of audience when you speak about naturally effective. Though there is an overlap, there is always a net new set of audience which you are going after, and hence it broadens the scope of the audience you are going after and creates a bigger flywheel for you to hit to the next stage of growth. Number 3, Start building a base of 3 to 5 influencers whom you can rely on and are proven to work. Work out a separate campaign for each of them and measure by conversions only. This is an influencer trick which need not always be used for all brands, but whatever brands it works out, especially lifestyle brands, they can actually use it, where they create a sense of 3 to 5 influencers who have been with the brand, who have been the face of the brand for some time, and their videos have worked, video ads have already worked, and then start creating a separate campaign with them so as to create a more broader impact and measure the impact only by conversions. Don't measure it by anything else. Don't measure it by traffic, don't measure it by audience, anything. Measure it by the conversions they have bought in, because that is what is ultimately should matter for any brand. Number 4, brands fail to get big as they take big risk. Here and there revenue slides even more than drawn before. What happens is, whenever they see that for 3 months straight the revenue is not increasing, they try to take big risks, and that is where the biggest risk arises, where if it fails, your revenue slides even more than what was before. Instead, take small risk every now and then, so that whichever works, you can take it as a moonshot and go all in on that. That way, you're not failing to maintain the consistency which is already being maintained, and the momentum is not lost. Otherwise, when you take one big risk, the momentum is lost and everything you have built until now crumbles to the ground. Number 5, start adding new products to advertise. Instead of just relying on the same old products to advertise, start expanding your inventory, start expanding your product assortment to advertise, and go after customers who have not been captured with the current products. For example, if you are just advertising a skincare based product, 5 skincare products are being advertised and you are at a 40 lakh revenue, then start advertising a hair care, because that will attract a very different set of audience. Don't advertise the same kind of products, start expanding to new categories or new kind of products which attracts a very different audience. This way you are creating an awareness with a very different set of or pocket of customers, and hence the expansion starts more rapidly and you can expand more freely, and the growth is more prominent there. Start adding new products. The playbook can be same as you have done for the previous products which you have already scaled to 40 lakh, but the product, how it is marketed, will differ. Number 6, focus on active customer profile and retention marketing. Usually at 30-40 lakh revenue, you should start focusing on your retention marketing. This retention marketing just need not be about WhatsApp and email. It can be about remarketing on Facebook ads. Yes, remarketing is most often called as a culprit, but we have seen again and again right now their remarketing is better off, and you are better off remarketing via ads than remarketing via say email or WhatsApp, because remarketing via ads, it's very non-intrusive, it's not personal space for anybody. People can scroll through at once. Otherwise, WhatsApp, what happens is they're bulged with so many messages and hence they ignore it. So remarketing via ads is more prudent, and you can go more segment wise. For example, you can segment the audience based on particular events they have done on website in the remarketing of ads, but you cannot segment based on in the WhatsApp or something based on people who have checked out this product but abandoned the cart, and then they also added this product. So all those intricacies and complexities are missing in the WhatsApp, whereas in ads dashboard, which is more evolved, it is more possible, and hence remarketing via ads is more prominent. Focus on active customer profile. This is the number of customers who are there within the 80% of your buying journey. For example, if a user takes around 7 to 10 days for them to decide as a conversion window to convert, and 80% of your customers and the number of customers you have in that 7 to 10 window should always be higher. It should be, that is what is called as active customer profile, and you should always aim to make it high so that you can rely on them whenever the new customer acquisition is failing. You can rely on them and get going. Otherwise, what happens is when you're just extracting out of new customers, you fail to remarket to the existing customers and hence they leave out. Number 7, build multiple funnels for customer to enter. Instead of just relying on one ads, build multiple funnels. These multiple funnels can be different ads also. One funnel can be talking about just ingredient. Second funnel can all just be talking about the social proof and PR and everything, how this product is being used by so and so celebrity. Third funnel can be all about being natural based. So all these kind of funnels that needs to be built out so that you are attracting very different diverse set of audiences and hence expanding your reach. Because no matter how much we think that conversion ads help, yes they do help, but once you will to unlock the biggest unlock in revenue, you will have to start measuring on what kind of ad angles, what kind of funnels you are building, what kind of audience you are attracting, because there is always a latent audience which you have never heard of, but they are very excited about your product. But just because they have never heard of your brand, they are not purchasing from your product, purchasing from your brand. Hence, build multiple funnels and try to extract where is the missed opportunity and where is the white space where audience are not being catered to. Number 8, monitor the following graphs. Whenever you start scaling, monitor the AOV versus CAC graph, because people see that okay, my AOV is dropping, but even the CAC, if CAC also drops, then net you are actually the same. So instead of always relying on AOV increasing or AOV dropping, measure it against another graph or another metric which is very relevant. For example, AOV versus CAC, and measure the revenue per visitor as a metric, new versus returning visitor, because whenever you're scaling, your new customers should outpace the growth of returning customers, and that is when you start to scale, so that you reap the benefits of new customer acquisition today, 90 days or say 180 days later. You reap the benefits because you have acquired the customers now. Number 9, invest in non-conversion campaigns, but don't expect results for the next 90 days. If you are investing in video views and engagement ads, we have seen it work. We have seen it work for multiple brands, but don't invest it when you're just launching the brand. Make it to a certain revenue, say 15, 20, 30 lakh per month, and then invest in these, but don't invest heavily. Less than 5 to 7% of your total advertising budget should be allocated to this, and it should span across minimum 90 days. Before that, it's bad to even think that this will start working. This will work, but this is a more invisible way of indirect way, and you'll have to measure it based on a longer time frame than just conversion ads, which is usually measured 1 day, 7 day click. Number 10, initially you will invest more in ads and lose on efficiency because you are trading for more data here, and that is fine. You'll just have to know what is the break-even threshold where you bail out, even if you are getting more data, because there is some efficiency target which you should not breach at any point of time, and that target should be very clear among your team and the person who is managing the ads, so that this builds a more robust system where you are getting data also while you are not losing out completely. So that should be the nice balance that should be maintained. Number 11, hire a consultant. Go for the genuine ones. The person must have case study of actually breaking the ceiling of revenue which you are stuck at, and also the reason you can hire consultant is because they'll give you a third eye of how the brand looks from an outside perspective, because every other team member or every other founder of the brand, if you ask, they are very constrained and horse-eyed in terms of what the brand is perceived and everything, because they have been working in the same brand for a long time. Instead, if you can get a consultant, he'll give you a fresh perspective and new way to think about the problems you are facing currently. Hopefully this was helpful. Thank you for watching. Thank you.